standing outside waiting for you. You were always taking time, babe.
What's up and good morning everyone, back at the shop. As you saw probably with the last video, we got the motor out of the truck and torn down. So where we're at today, we're actually going to be building these heads, which shouldn't really be too much of an issue. It kind of is really simple. You got exhaust valves and intake valves that are different size. We got Austin cleaning them right now. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting these prepped and cleaned and getting everything assembled, and we're gonna start throwing the valves, valve springs, retainers, all that good stuff onto these and get these ready. So this is probably gonna be it for today's video. And no, I am not a machinist or a machine shop or do this very often, but it is not really that hard. So this all came back from the machine shop when I bought these, so everything should be good to go. We just got to put them in and get everything sealed up, ready to go. We ordered some head gaskets for the motor. We got the studs. I started cleaning a little bit, so I just started cleaning the surface up a little bit and made sure everything was good. I'm gonna go ahead and put in all the studs, get them all prepped, get some new ARP lube for all these, get the gaskets in, and then hopefully throw those heads on here, pull the motor out of the service truck over there, and we should be able to just start swapping parts over, get this motor complete, drop it back in, bolt it up, and hopefully start it without any issues. So we're gonna prep all this good stuff up, kind of clean our work area a little bit, and then we'll start assembling some LB7 Duramax heads.
Should be fun.
Alright guys, so to start things off, we're cleaning up these like spring seats, I guess you could say, which are gonna sit on the head like that. You gotta make sure to put them down first before you put the valve seals on, because they won't fit over it. So we're gonna clean all these up, get them all set, and then work on putting the valve seals onto the valve guides. And then we should be able to start assembling the heads fully. This is just tedious work at this point. We're just cleaning all these up with some Brillo pad here, Scotch spray, whatever you want to call it, and then set them all down. That way they're clean, good mounting surface, and all that good stuff. Guys, so we got all these little like spring seat plates pretty clean and set in here. So now what we're gonna do, we got the valve stem seals. I got this cup here. We're gonna put a little bit of oil in it just so I can kind of soak these just so they slide on easier. And you're gonna go ahead and set them down on here. There's a little groove that they catch in, and like I said, you gotta put these little seats down first because they won't fit over the seal. So you gotta make sure that these are all on, and then pop these bad boys on. Then we can go on to the next thing. So shouldn't be too hard. Pretty much just gonna lube them up a little bit and then seat them on.
Government officials insist that this is an isolated incident.
Oh God. First time doing that. Double step up. Well, we have gotten all the valve stem seals on the head. We used a 12mm 1/4 inch drive deep socket, just fits over this and just tap them on. It actually worked a lot better than trying to push them on. A little bit of oil, like I said, to lube them up, get them all slid on. So pretty much at this point, we're just cleaning up the rest of this stuff. And we're gonna go ahead and start figuring out the valves and putting the exhaust valve and the intake valves in. Like I said, you can see even right here, there's one with a larger cut on it and then a smaller cut, and they're different sizes. It's probably pretty hard to tell on camera. But your different sizes are for the different valves. I believe the intake are bigger. I'm not 100% though. Yeah, I think the intakes are larger, which are the ones on the right, and then those are the exhausts. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting this all cleaned up and ready, get the springs all ready. I know Austin's cleaning these. I don't even know what the real name is for them. I guess spring retainers or top hats or something like that. Sit on top of the spring like such, and then the keepers go in there. So yeah, we're getting there. Start assembling these heads and be ready for when the head gaskets get here. So basically we can throw this motor back together, and yeah, it should be a good day. And just real quick, as you're getting ready to set your valve springs and everything, these little keepers are tapered. So the tapered end wants to go down. I don't think you can really put them in the other way, but you want to make sure the tapered end is down. Alrighty, so like I said, you do have two different valves, and we have the intake side facing up right now. And you can almost see, so this is an exhaust valve, I'm pretty sure. But if we were to put this one in here, and it doesn't look right. It doesn't sit flat or anything. It's a little bit too small. But you're gonna go ahead and put it in over here, which would be an exhaust port. And it kind of sits a little bit more flush to the head, seals a little bit better. And then we can take an intake valve and do the same thing over here. See how that one just sits in there a lot nicer. So that way you have your intake and exhaust valves put in the head. And what that is going to give you is your stems through the other side. So once we get one of these in, we'll flip the head over. I pretty much have this block here just to show you. But we're going to set the head on the block, that way we can get underneath it. And you're going to put the spring compressor tool, which, let me mind you, this one's probably as old as I am. Luckily Eric's dad had one laying around, so we got this contraption here, which is just incredibly old, but it probably works better than anything new on the market. So you have like almost like a vise, or what do they call them, C-clamp side, and then you have like a finger side. So you're gonna slide this over the head. Obviously it needs to be adjusted right now, and you will have your spring and your little top part here, and that's what's going to sit up inside here. Then you're able to tighten this whole thing down and clamp the valve down, so that way you can squeeze the spring past where the keepers need to go. You set the two keepers in there, and then it holds everything in place. So like I said before, these valves and everything were all done at the machine shop. All the springs and everything came back from the machine shop, so everything should be pretty set and ready to go. So we're gonna begin installing them. Like I said, I'm not sure if it makes a huge difference. It probably does, so I'm gonna tell you anyways. There's a painted side of the spring usually, which you can kind of see there. It's kind of worn off on these. On all the other motors, they're facing down, so that's how we're gonna go ahead and set them. So you want to make sure these are clean. We're going to spray them off with some brake clean, make sure these are clean, which we've been cleaning up and everything. And then we're going to get two keepers right here. And you're going to put this on, put the valve spring compressor tool on, hold it down. Once the spring is low enough so you can get the keepers in there to lock onto the groove in the valve stem, which is right here. I don't know if you can see or if it'll focus. Right there. That's where your keepers are gonna sit, and they have a little groove inside of them. If it'll focus, right there. And that's where you want them to hook in. So 2 keepers per valve spring. And yeah, so I'm gonna just kind of go over and do this first one. We should be ready to go. Then you just repeat the process for all of them. You want to make sure when you let these off you go slowly, but after that you should have a fully installed and seated valve inside the head. So now you're just going to repeat the process for all of them, which you can see we already installed. So the valve stem seals should keep them kind of held in place. You can push them out, so be careful so they don't drop. But I basically laid them all in there, and we're just going to go ahead and keep installing all of these springs. So we have one fully dressed out Duramax cylinder head. So tilt this up, show you all the valves, everything seated. That's probably going to be a wrap for today's video. Once we get the other motor out, we can start pulling the cups and everything that I just sealed in, so I'm going to have to do that over again. But that's part of the game, so that's going to be a wrap for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully, if you guys need to take on the challenge of building your own heads, this kind of shows you the way. Another great thing to have, which if you guys don't have this already and you're trying to work on your motor, factory specs, torque specs, all that good stuff, you can find a lot of it online. But a Haynes manual for a Duramax, maybe not the right way or the wrong way, who really knows? You know, everyone has, there's a million ways to skin a cat, you know, which one's right. So you can get a lot of good information from that, and it'll tell you how to do a lot of things at your house and get it done right. So we have finished this head. Like I said, we're waiting on head gaskets for the block. We're gonna work on getting that cleaned up further. But it's the weekend and I'm gonna go relax. So that's gonna do it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications to follow this build. Just a mild stock build, obviously, as you guys know if you watched the other video for the service truck, which is over there. It's too sunny out. So yeah, we're gonna just keep working on assembling the rest of this shenanigans to get everything put onto this motor. So that's gonna do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm out.